Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to Indie Dave Comics. I, of course, am Indie Dave. Today we're doing a comic book review of this new little indie comic called Monstro Mechanica. Monstro Mechanica is an Aftershock comic written by Paul Allure, and it was drawn by Chris Evenhuis. I hope I pronounced that right. I probably butchered it. It's sort of a sci-fi alternate history type comic. This girl on the cover is named Isabel. Underneath her is a wooden robot who is her bodyguard, who was designed and built by Leonardo da Vinci. The art is really good on this. I'm very impressed. The story is really good. Let's go over here. It takes place in Europe. They're tasked. Leonardo is her mentor, her instructor, her boss, and they are assigned to go into a city that they're raiding. Come through a few of these. They were assigned to go into this city and save the mayor who has been put in jail. Isabel and her robot are the ones that have been tasked to go in by Leonardo. Everybody, except seemingly for Leonardo da Vinci, believes the robot is probably more than just an automaton, that it has some kind of life of its own. Isabel definitely believes that kind of thing. Again, it's a very nice art style. There's a lot of action in this comic. It's a lot of fun. It reminds me a little bit of Atomic Robo, if you've ever read that, and sort of the style that it's written in. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of action. I like the design of the robot. The art's very clean. It's none of that kind of rough around the edges stuff you'll get from some indie comics. But it is Aftershock, and generally speaking, Aftershock has pretty good quality artists on their books. This here's Leonardo da Vinci. They're discussing whether or not he should have sent Isabel in, essentially by herself, because the robot is a robot and only does what she tells it to do. Again, I'm not going to give away too much about what the book is about, because this is definitely a high recommend. I want you to go out and buy it, check it out. I picked up this book at issue number 2, and it makes me regret that I did not see this or pick this up at issue number 1. I missed a little bit of the story, I think, but otherwise it was still a really pretty good read. So if you're looking for something really good, indie comics, Aftershock Comics, the publisher, has got some decent stuff out. But definitely, if you can find the first one, pick up Monstro Mechanica. I actually saw this comic in a Twitter. Somebody mentioned it, and I asked about the premise, and they sent me to the website, and the person that originally posted the tweet gave me the little rundown on what it's about. It's really a great little story. I would say if you're in your comic shop and you're looking at all your other stuff, you happen to see this on a shelf, it's definitely worth picking up. And possibly even I would add it to my pull list, maybe even. Anyway, I'm Indie Dave for Indie Dave Comics. This has been another indie review. You can follow me on the Twitter at Indie Dave Comics with an X. You can also find me on Facebook with just as Indie Dave. And also at Instagram, also at Indie Dave Comics with an X. Thank you, and everybody have a good day.